On the worst nights of the past 2 years, Israeli radar operators haven't been watching for one missile or 10. They've been watching hundreds of objects appear on their screens within the same few minutes. Ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, one-way drones, some real threats, some decoys, all arriving from multiple directions at once, all needing to be identified, prioritized, and in many cases, physically destroyed within a window measured in single-digit minutes. Here's the problem that almost never gets talked about in coverage of Israel's air defense. Everyone focuses on the missile that does the intercepting. Almost nobody talks about the computer that decides which missile gets shot at all, and does it correctly, hundreds of times in the time it takes you to read this sentence. Welcome back to Grand Structures. This isn't a video about the war. It's a video about the math, the pure computing engineering question underneath every mass missile attack. How do you track hundreds of simultaneous inbound objects, decide which ones actually matter, and assign the right interceptor to each one without the entire system falling over? Here's what this video actually answers. Mass missile defense isn't really one engineering problem. It's 4 stacked on top of each other, each one with a hard time limit. You have to detect every object the moment it appears. You have to track all of them simultaneously without losing or confusing any single one. You have to predict which ones are actually dangerous because you can't afford to shoot at everything. And you have to assign interceptors to targets in an order that doesn't waste your limited supply on the wrong threats. Miss any one of those 4 steps at scale, and the whole system doesn't gracefully degrade, it saturates, and things get through. Let's take them one at a time. First problem, an old-fashioned radar dish physically spins, sweeping one direction at a time, completely inadequate for hundreds of simultaneous, fast-moving targets arriving from different bearings at once. The radar systems underpinning Israel's air defense network solve this with Active Electronically Scanned Array technology, AESA for short. Instead of mechanically rotating, the radar face is built from thousands of individual transmitting elements that can steer the beam electronically in effectively any direction in milliseconds with no moving parts. Iron Dome's own radar, the EL/M-2084, built by ELTA, a subsidiary of Israel Aerospace Industries, is a multi-mission radar built specifically around this capability. And it's documented to be able to detect and track hundreds of airborne targets simultaneously, not one at a time in sequence. David's sling uses a related AESS system from the same family. That's the foundational trick that makes everything downstream even possible. The radar isn't looking at targets one after another. It's maintaining continuous custody of all of them, essentially at once. But detecting hundreds of objects is only step 1. A radar return by itself is just a dot. Turning hundreds of dots into hundreds of confidently tracked, individually distinguished objects, none of them lost, none of them confused with each other, is where this stops being a radar problem and starts being a computing problem. Second problem, and it's the one that makes Israel's approach genuinely distinctive. You cannot afford to shoot an interceptor at every single object in the sky. Interceptor missiles are expensive and finite. A single Tamir interceptor used by Iron Dome runs somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000 depending on the source. An Arrow 3 interceptor, built for exo-atmospheric threats, runs into the millions. Fire indiscriminately at every incoming object during a barrage of hundreds, and you run out of interceptors long before you run out of threats. This is where Iron Dome's defining engineering decision comes in. The battle management computer, built for Rafael by the Israeli software company mPrest, doesn't just track incoming projectiles. It calculates each one's predicted impact point in real time, based on its trajectory, and compares that point against the locations of populated areas and critical infrastructure. If the math says a rocket is going to land in an empty field, the system disregards it entirely and saves the interceptor. Only genuine threats to people or key sites get engaged. That single design decision is arguably the most important piece of software engineering in this entire story. It's the reason Israel's air defense hasn't run out of interceptors during years of sustained rocket and missile fire. The system isn't trying to solve an impossible problem of stopping everything. It's solving a much more tractable one, stopping only what actually needs stopping, and doing that calculation correctly hundreds of times a night if it has to.
Third problem, and this is genuinely one of the oldest, hardest problems in applied mathematics. Even after you've narrowed hundreds of objects down to the real threats, you still have to decide which interceptor from which battery engages which target and in what order. Computer scientists and military planners have a name for this, the weapon target assignment problem, and in its general form, it's what's known as NP-hard, meaning there's no known way to guarantee the mathematically perfect answer in a reasonable amount of time once the numbers get large enough. Real systems don't try to find the perfect answer. They run fast, well-tested approximation algorithms that find a very good answer in the fraction of a second they actually have available. Israel's system adds another layer of complexity on top of that. The assignment isn't just missile to interceptor, it's threat to tier. Arrow 3 engages ballistic missiles in space before re-entry. Arrow 2 catches what's left in the upper atmosphere. David's Sling handles medium-range threats, cruise missiles, heavier rockets in the 40 to 300 kilometer band. Iron Dome takes the short-range, low-altitude threats closest to the ground. All of these systems share data through an integrated battle management architecture, and the software has to correctly hand a given threat to the right tier in the right sequence, based on its trajectory, speed, and type, and be ready to reassign to a different layer in real time if an earlier intercept attempt fails, since defenders typically plan to fire more than one interceptor per serious threat, specifically to account for the possibility of a miss. Here's the honest section, and it matters more than any of the impressive numbers above it. This system has real, acknowledged limits. Every public source on Iron Dome, including Rafael's own leadership, acknowledges that a sufficiently large, sufficiently concentrated barrage can outpace even a well-engineered battle management system, not because the computer makes a mistake, but because there's a hard physical ceiling on how many interceptors a given battery can physically fire in a short window, regardless of how fast the software decides. That's precisely why, as of June 2026, Israel completed and made public a new round of validated Iron Dome upgrades, specifically targeting the system's ability to detect, classify, prioritize, and engage multiple targets arriving simultaneously from different directions, and specifically integrating the newer Iron Beam laser system directly into Israel's existing Iron Dome's battle management software. The Israeli Ministry of Defense hasn't disclosed the exact technical changes, which is exactly what you'd expect for an active wartime capability, but the stated goal is unambiguous: handle larger, more complex, simultaneous barrages than the system could reliably manage before. That upgrade is also a quiet admission of something worth saying plainly. The arms race here isn't really missile versus missile, it's compute versus volume. Every time an adversary can put more simultaneous objects in the air, the defending software has less time per object to make a correct decision, and every engineering answer to that problem, whether it's a faster radar, a smarter prioritization algorithm, or a laser that doesn't need a physical interceptor magazine at all, is ultimately a response to the same underlying math problem. Put it together, and a mass missile night in Israel isn't really being won or lost by any single piece of hardware. It's a continuous four-stage computation running in real time. AESA radars maintaining simultaneous custody of hundreds of tracks, a battle management system calculating impact points and discarding non-threats within seconds, a weapon target assignment algorithm handing each real threat to the correct interceptor tier, and a four-layer physical network, Arrow, David's Sling, Iron Dome, and now Iron Beam, actually carrying out the engagement. None of it is magic, and none of it is perfect. Israeli officials and independent analysts alike acknowledge that large, sophisticated, well-timed barrages remain a genuine stress test for the system, which is exactly why it keeps getting upgraded rather than declared finished. We've spent this series looking at engineering built from concrete, steel, and lasers. This time, the most important engineering in the entire story never leaves a server rack. It's the software deciding hundreds of times a night, if it has to, what's actually worth shooting at and getting that decision right fast enough to matter. That's genuinely the harder problem. Missiles are physics. Software making the correct life or death call in under 2 seconds, over and over without ever getting to pause and double check, that's engineering with no room for error at all. Subscribe to Grand Instructions. We'll see you in the next breakdown.